Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We're here in the wonderful world of Trifles. That name. It's awesome. And we got a delivery arriving. I've actually been watching these trucks go around in the city. So you see these guys that are coming out right here? Well, I've been paying attention to where it is they go to. And if we go and have a look... Are they all fire trucks? It's a fire truck army out on patrol. So if we have a look into the city, you can see there are some buildings that need goods to sell. And actually, when I follow these guys around, they don't always go to those buildings. As you can see, they're passing them by here. You'd think the first places that they go to are going to be those ones. And you saw there one of our buildings getting demolished. That is actually happening a fair bit around here. The bubble has sort of been bursting a little bit. There's even been residents moving out of this area because of the low land values. So things are kind of tricky to keep in the balance because of the isolated nature of this, but I'm sure we'll get there with time. As the city gets bigger, there'll be more places for the demands of such an area to be met from. And yeah, I've been kind of regretting something. I'm not going to regret it, it's fine. But I've been looking at this, and this island would have been perfect to have our industry on because it would have covered all 4 different areas. But I'm not bothered about that, it doesn't really matter in the long run. What I'm thinking is we might go for this area over here. You can see we've got an island with all 3 things on, so this would be the industry island. And then there's a little bit of ore over here. And then that could connect like this. We could bring the train line through, go around the corner, through that area, come down here, and onto this island. So that's one candidate for where we could do some industrial work, which is what I want to do in today's episode. There's also this little island here, which would be really good for mining oil and having a bit of forestry industry as well. There's also a mix over here and a little bit there, but there's no area like this island where you've got all 4 in one place. Here is actually another candidate. If we look here, there's 1, 2, 3 and 4. So technically yes, however, you'd look at an area like this and you'd think this will be all residential. So at the moment I'm sort of wandering around trying to make my mind up, and I just can't do it at the moment, just not sure where to go. So we'll look at this little bit of the city a little bit more, and it looks good. I've thrown in a few more gardens to increase the land value over on this side. You can see we've got the Japanese one right here. This makes a huge difference compared to those little 1x4 parks. Now I remember on the last city there were a few complaints, people saying they're a bit overpowered and stuff like that. Well, actually their area of effect, or the amount of effect that they do, is very little in comparison. So if we go and have a look at this right here, you can see we put one of these down and all the houses go to the top level, whereas these ones, they hardly make a difference to the housing around them. So they're there to kind of fill in the gaps. And over on this side as well, you can see, look, low land value. We need more parks to help increase it. And I don't really like putting these down because they break up the housing, and I like the way it's spread out around here. But we can leave it like that for now and come back to that problem on another day. As of right now, what I'd like to do is start working on industry so we can produce more goods, and hopefully that means more will come in here. Now at the moment you can see we've got, actually that looks like trucks from the last visit. So we've got lots of trains coming in, but I'm wondering if this is, oh, and it disappeared. I wonder if it's going to be throttled by the single line, because what this does is it comes in on the left hand side every time. It gets here and then it exits out on the same line as well. So I'm wondering if you had, let's say, multiple lines coming into this place, would it mean more trains could come down? For example, what the game might do is send one in from the distance, you know, off in the distance, out from the other worlds or whatever it is it's connected to, and then it comes down one side of the line and there's one way in over here. So as soon as it's in this area, no other train's going to be able to get there. So that could possibly throttle the amount that are coming in, because it's definitely slower than what we saw in the previous world. But then again, I am just kind of speculating, and it's time to do some buildings. So I'm going to examine the map a little bit more, and then we're going to make a decision on where to put our industry. Alright, I've zoned out some areas here. They are actually pretty well done. If you look at the, well, actually we can skip between these views. That right there and that right there, you can see the zoning is pretty accurate, which is cool. But if we click on each of these districts, you can see we've got some custom policies in place. So all of them have industrial space planning, and that's going to double the goods, I think. Doubles the amount of goods produced by each industry building, which seems well and truly worth it. We've also got smoke detection, distribution, smoking ban, and free public transport. And we've just reached Capital City. Amazing! We can unlock a new area, except of course we've already got them. And we can also have a cargo harbour. That's interesting. Let's go and check that out quickly, because we might be able to make use of this. Can that actually... I thought for a second there, yep, it can connect to that river, and there's a boat coming through. Do you remember we had a view where we could see where the boat went? Let's actually speed up the game for a second, and we'll be able to see... Yeah, it's connecting to its route, and then it goes right here. Okay, so we know that that's actually going to work. Okay, maybe we could make use of it. But yeah, we were doing something, weren't we? And we could actually see this yellow path in one of the early episodes for its route. So that seems to go straight out of there. So there's a route going around this island, and there must be another route for some other boats going through here as well. But that's good to know, so we can make use of that. And let's have a look at this one. Will this connect? Yep, look, that one connects too. Okay, so that's good to know. We can make use of the cargo harbour. I'm not sure actually that's going to work, because what we need to do is produce goods to sell in our own city, so that won't be connected to this system over here. So yeah. Anyway, I think the next step is to start laying out some roads and putting in the infrastructure. Now, I know what you might be thinking, this looks pretty weird, and it does look a little bit weird, doesn't it? But what it is a ring road for traffic. We're going to connect this up somewhere, not sure where, maybe over here in this area, to a cargo base. That means that all of the traffic that wants to go to the different areas around here can go through this big ring road. So if you're going to zoom out, you'll see that this area over here is pretty big. I mean, it's bigger than that circle right there. Actually, it's probably a very similar size, but this is going to help tremendously. And what we're going to do is put some grids around here. So something to note about this is that it is a two-way ring road system. So when you come down to this area, it's two-way, and then it's one-way in and out here, and that just means all the outflowing traffic kind of turns around onto this bit a little bit quicker. Same for the incoming traffic, and then it's going to go down into the grids. So over here it is a little bit close to the edge. Probably could have made this thing a little bit smaller on this side actually, and maybe the same up the top as well. That's probably something that I'm now going to go and do, but then we can grid out the zones. So I'll make some changes, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to shrink this in on the top and the bottom side. It feels like that comes out way too much. But we'll make some changes here. We'll put in the grid, and then we can start zoning this area. I think there's probably more to it than that, but we'll see. So I got annoyed with the roads that I built. I felt it just looked too ugly and mechanical, and I decided just to do a ring road like this. And down here it kind of smooths out and goes with the land a little bit, as you can see there. Then it goes back into a bridge and comes around the side of this hill, which I think looks awesome now. That looks so much nicer. And down here I've had to put in a cargo base. So originally we had a one-way road going through like this, and I couldn't put it down on the ground, so we had to have a road like this one right here, which proposes a sort of interesting challenge as to how we're going to get all the roads to connect to one another. But now we've got the cargo bay right here, we can build a bridge going across to this island, and then the train track can make its way probably across the bridge down to this bit over here. So for now the challenge is the roads. How are we going to get these to connect up? Because I don't think this is, look, it's not even going to be able to go anywhere on this end. So maybe what we do is, rather than have it come through down on one side and back up the other, if we destroy this for a second, and this one over here, what we'll do is just simply make this into a two-way road. So it's like you go to the end and then you turn around again. So let's just upgrade that road type. There we go, and then we make a connection down the bottom here. So what we can do is come out to the side a little bit, then go up, except it won't let me. Let's try that again. Maybe we go one shorter, and now the slope is too steep. This is going to be a problem, isn't it? Let's try and go in just a little bit. Now can we go up? Yes, we can. Okay, so how high can we go? Interesting. About that height should do. We're still quite low below this part of the bridge, aren't we? And I thought I saw it go blue for a second. Somewhere here it went blue. It's going to be a little bit tricky. So what if we go to the side and go up like that? There we go. So now we make it go up as well. And that's too high. And now can you connect? Probably not. This will probably take me a while to figure out. Okay, so that kind of works. We're not left with a lot of room to make this thing look too pretty, are we? And also, I think when it comes down here, it's going to go down on the left-hand side. And, oh, let's get rid of that. And then it's going to cut across the road. So we're going to have some traffic problems right there. So there may be some more logistics to this. But for now, that'll probably do. And hopefully we won't decide to move this later on, because I think that's a really cool location. And it makes the ring road sort of make a lot more sense, because wherever you got to go, pretty much got to go around the entire ring road at some point to get down here. So the next thing for us to do is to put in some of these things going across the water. Yes, that's right, train tracks. How are we going to get all the way over there? So first of all, I think I'd like a nice straight bridge going straight across, like this. What happens if we get it to tilt up as well? Aha, look, we can get that going all the way over to there. Okay, that's a pretty cool looking bridge. I like it. We've got the thing over the top. Let's change to this tool as well. And let's get a bit of a straight line going. Let's come back down onto the ground and make our way sort of near the beach. We'll probably change all of this in the future since we'll be building in this area. And then we've got another bridge to make across here. So how can we get that nice... There it is, the nice bridge thing going on. Oh, that's actually going to come through just about right, I think. Yeah, look at that. That worked out pretty well. Okay, so now the trains can make their way all the way over here. That means we can get some raw goods from this island and take them somewhere else to be produced into manufacturing goods. Sorry, you know, commercial goods or whatever. I think that's the process, and that's something else I've forgotten about. We're just looking at the specialization area here. Alright, I think we're ready to put in the grid now. So this has taken me some time to put together. One of the things is just removing and replacing roads because it looks kind of ugly, right? This looks ugly, but the thing is, they kind of look like that in this game until you get the cities going. So we're going to start off with some zoning and doing the old thing with kind of responding to the needs, I guess. And another thing, by the way, I've kind of zoned this out so we would have buildings on these sides of the roads, which I'm not sure if we're going to do or not. And obviously there's tons of industry here, more than enough, so we're just going to start off with a little bit, bit by bit in each area. And straight away I realised that what we need is some power over here. So let's just get a big section on each one. So this is going to come through and probably disrupt the grid somewhat. And we need power down there as well. So maybe that's the way we bring it in. For now, alongside this thing. It might look good, it might not. But we'll do the aesthetics of it all later. So then we've got to get... Actually, yeah, we're probably just going to follow the train line. And that'll make things nice and simple. There we go. So we bring it across the water. Up there. And I'll make it look nice and pretty another time. So now it's connected. We've got power down to this thing. And it has no water. It should have water because I did all the pipes. I actually remembered to do that. Goes all the way across here. I thought it snapped to it. Apparently it snapped to just in front of our water supply. Very, very interesting. Anyway, let's bring some power around. These power lines are just going to look so ugly, I know. I'll have to sort it out later on. Let's bring it down the back of all this grid, around the outside. Like so, and then we'll cut into the middle. So where did we actually zone out? Has anything moved in yet? Can anything actually move in? We've seen these things generate out of thin air before, but maybe not this time. There is demand for it as well. There's also a lot of demand for residential, so maybe we'll have to expand some residential somewhere as well. Right, I'm clicking on the wrong thing here. Alright, so we want to get power to that bit. That probably means we're going to have to go up and over the motorway. By the way, when I was making this, I designed it so that we could have roads underneath it, right? And then when I went and made the ring road, I don't know what changed, but now we can't have roads go underneath it, which kind of sucks. That wasn't what I was trying to do. Yeah, okay, and the next one is all the way over there. So we'll put in power going around the outside, maybe? No, it doesn't want to go across the road. There we go. It's so finicky sometimes. Okay, and then we'll bring it all the way back around here, and around there. That'll do. And all of that will get removed over time. You know how it is. You've got to get it going to get it going. So nothing's happening. Well, the game is already on triple speed. Why would nothing be happening? We don't have any public transport over to this area. That's probably a big thing. So we should add in some metros. That's something I completely forgot to do. Should have done that already. We're not going to go with the fancy ones this time. We're going to go with the New York subway station, which is slightly different. So... oh, no, we've got some industry in the area. Where do we want our stops to be? None of this has been designed. Let's actually slow the game down for a second. Has been really designed for public transport. So if we were to put one here, that would probably get to all of the places along here because you can just walk down the roads. So we'll start off with one there. As for the opposite side, we'll need to build a path going through. Then you've got pretty good distribution to all of this. And we'll probably need a path somewhere down this end to connect things up. In fact, we're going to put in a lot of paths now that I think about it. So I guess the next area we'd like to connect up would be the farming. If we put it right here, again using some paths to go sort of across into the other area, that's pretty good. In fact, if we just zoom out and think about it from a bird's eye view, if we put one... I actually think on this side of the road would be slightly better for distribution. Let's put it right there on that bit, if it would. No, it doesn't want to go where we want to put it, of course. We'll make a bridge over the top, so the other one, if we put 3 in total, should go somewhere around here, I think. Looks good. And then again, using paths to hook them all up. So now let's connect these together with our tunnels. So one to there, and yes, this looks like ridiculous, but I can't even be bothered. So we will connect this up both to this area. Slope too steep. That's not what I expected to see. And that thing is expensive, 46,000. And of course it's not going to connect to that, is it? Right, let's go across like that. And now they're kind of all connected together, but I feel like we should have one going from here. And again, too slope, doesn't like it. Too steep. Can we get down to there? Yep, and then we can get across perhaps. Awesome. Nice. Okay, so we've got a big circle between these now. So now what we're going to do is make some routes and we can start getting some workers over there. Okay, subways are in place. We got power to them. They're hooked up with transport. We made a little circuit that goes between here and there, and one that goes between there and there. So we've got like a triangle thing going on. We've also got this area over here to take care of. I think we're going to just have to focus on this for this episode. It's taking me a real bit of time to get this going, actually. It feels like actually laying down some of the roads and stuff when you don't have too much of a game plan is kind of difficult, but yeah, just want to have fun really with these layouts and not overthink it sometimes. So we've just gone for this right here. So let's have a look at our pathways. We want... Oh, please tell me it can go underneath that road. If it don't go underneath the road, I'm going to cry. Oh, it can. Or can't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there. Actually, if we look at it from this side, I think the problem might be is that the slope is different here than it is on the other side. You see, it's a much bigger gap. Alright, looks like we're going to have to go up and over above. So we will take this path up to there. Then we will go up this height right here until we're taller than the road. That looks well and truly taller. And there we go. We can probably come down a fair bit. In fact, it looks way too much, doesn't it? Oh, let's come back down to here and try that again. You're going to snap to the ground? There we go. So let's go for one more than that. And it's not enough. Brilliant. Now we've got to try again. It's a little bit tedious sometimes building these paths. Okay, so that was not what we tried before. This one was. And then again. And then we go across. And we made it to the other side. Except it kind of looks awkward. We've got to bring it back down now. Interesting that you have to do that. And then it connects to the side? No? Doesn't actually connect. Did we not go all the way down? Let's try again. Ah, there we go. That's got to be it. No, apparently that goes under the road. Brilliant. This is not going very well at all, is it? So that goes under the road. That goes above it. Brilliant. I don't even know what to make of that. So let's go and just put a little bit of path like this and then connect. Oh my god, that looks so weird, doesn't it? We'll leave that alone for now. We can come back to that at another date. So from the subway you can sort of walk down these roads to this area, so we'll probably want a path between these bits. There we go. And you'll get all the way down there. So all of that's kind of easily accessible. Now you can get over to that side, so this area becomes kind of accessible. And you want to get over here as well. That's no problem. Walk all the way down here. Maybe put a path through the middle of this as well, might help a little bit. And then probably some paths over here. Paths are going to be going everywhere. I think I should just get on with it and put them in all the different places. But yeah, at least things are starting up. No surprise we got a lack of co-workers. Sorry, co-workers? Just workers. And we need some more residential somewhere, so I'm going to have to think about that. Probably over in this area we'll do a little bit of expansion. Or maybe unzone some of these industries, because they're not so necessary anymore. Let's do that actually. Let's just unzone a whole bunch of this over in this area. It would be wiser to get rid of the stuff nearer the residential zones, I think. But let's say we just get rid of a bit of this here and there. Okay, so we'll get rid of all of these ones down this side as well. Those buildings at the back. And then hopefully that means some more workers will come over to this island. Alright, paths in place. I've been seeing a few of these bubbles disappear as time goes by as well. Although it feels like almost every building has got this problem. So there we go, 7 out of 12 workers on that one. 6 out of 12, and hopefully these numbers will steadily creep up. We'll have to see, but it looks like we need a big residential expansion, so we'll probably need to figure out which island is going to be the residential one. But things are steadily coming along, I guess you could say. And over here as well, all of those bubbles slowly disappearing. So it is working, things are expanding. Let's have a look at the paths. I mean, I'll just fly around so you can kind of see them. Basically, I've looked at wherever there's a journey from like here to here, and then, you know, add a little path there. Or let's say you're trying to get across up to this area, you've got paths at the end of the road. So everywhere has a relatively quick journey to somewhere else. If you come over here, you can get all the way up to the top here. By the way, I put an incinerator up here because the trash needs picking up from down here, so that's going to help for the entire island. I like how it's nestled up in the hills again, that's pretty cool. And yeah, an awkward looking path over the top here. Some of them have been really difficult to put into place. I mean, just look at that. It's kind of bizarre looking. It's the way that the things like kind of attach themselves to the terrain more so than their actual height. Like they have a height from the terrain. A really good example of this actually is if we go... Did we do this on camera a second ago? I can't remember. But there was a really awkward path to work with. This one right here. So at the moment it looks normal. If you are to do this, and then let's say you want to go up, then it attaches itself to the slope first. So that looks extremely awkward, and then it tries to adjust the terrain, and then you create weird stuff like that. So that's how that kind of works. And then it's awkward to select it as well, because you don't actually put your mouse directly over it. So there are a few quirks of this game, things that I think could have been done a bit better, but overall this game is pretty spectacular. And we've got some of our custom farms over here as well, check it out. Beefcakes, that is a rice field I do believe, for beefcakes. And these look really cool, these buildings. Awesome. I can't wait for this area to build up. It's going to look so much better once it's built up. Traffic could be an issue, as always. We'll work with that when it happens. But I've seen the trucks going around the ring road down to this area, which is good. Not seen anything come out of here yet. I don't think they're going to import any goods. They're just going to be exporting them. But the way, or the place that they need to make themselves to, I think is industry like this. So we'll probably end up building a little bit of industry in this area as well, so we can turn them into goods. But that's going to be it for this episode. Took me a lot of time to do this. Sometimes it feels a little awkward trying to find the right kind of transition between how much time you spend playing and how much time you spend recording. But as you know, I've been pre-recording episodes because I'm going on vacation. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I think we got off to a good start on our new island over here. But that's it. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching this video. I have a second channel where you can find additional videos of my Twitch live streams. If you're interested in watching one of my live streams, then come over to Twitch and hit that follow button to be notified of when I go live. And if you're not subscribed over here on YouTube, then feel free to subscribe for more content like this. I also have a creative plot world server, play.xisumavoid.com, where you can build on your own plot and join in the fun with our wonderful community. And if you like social media, then you can interact with me on Twitter at xisumavoid.com. Links to all the relevant things can be found in the description box below.